People want to know, should you have to disclose your body count to a serious partner if they ask?
No.
If they ask?
If they ask, you have to have a serious conversation if they ask, where it's just like, do you even want to know that answer? Is that answer going to make you feel good? Is there any world where you like the answer to that question, or can we just both be adults? Like, it would, if somebody was insistent upon knowing my body count, a prospective woman was insistent upon it, it would make me just kind of go, it would make me reevaluate things. It would point to a lack of maturity to me personally. And like I said, and it would just be a thing where I'm like, nothing good comes out of this conversation. This is a bad conversation to have. No one likes this conversation. Right. Why even do it? So I would say no.
I mean, I don't want to know, but at the same time, so like if they ask you, I think you should, in transparency, you should disclose what they ask. If it's something they really want to know, all right, I'll give it to you. I won't ask. I don't want to know. But I also don't think anyone should have to ask, because I've said this before and I'll say it again. Every problem, 99% of problems, because you caught me on this one last time, 99% of problems in the world would be solved if we had our body count on our forehead. If we had our body count on our forehead, 99% of the world's problems would be solved. You would know who to talk to. You would know why they act the way they do. Boss being mad at work. Oh, he's got a body count of 2. He gets no pussy. That's why he's a dick. Right? You know what I'm saying? You got on a break with your girl, and it's a body count of 5, and you went on a break for 2 weeks, and she was like, yeah, we just need to, take some time apart, and you come back, and that shit's at fucking 16, and you go, what? Nah, we're good. We're good. You see what I'm saying? You look at a bitch who's got, when I dated a bitch 3 years ago, I would have saw a fucking 72 on her fucking forehead, and I would have been like, deuces! Welcome to another episode of Couch Coach, your favorite podcast featuring an all-star staff of the best to never do it. Without a couch, you're just a coach. Without a coach, it is just a couch. With both, you're one of us. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and if you got something to say, leave a comment. While you're at it, hit that notification button to make sure you stay ready for when we hit the airwaves weekly. For more, make sure to follow us on whatever platform you consume your content, whether on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, or X. Search Couch Coach Pod in your search bar and look for the green coach sitting on a green couch. You can't miss it. If that was too much for you to remember, make sure to hit up that description for all the links to all our socials and our Couch Coach headquarters. Now for your first Couch Coach, we have the one and only Mr. Too Old to Burn It to the Ground. Mr. 2 Rings. They ate my wife. He's a man of many names. He's a man of the people. But you can call him Jonny.
He's a proud father. That's what he is. Because my large adult Ukrainian son, Aonishiki, has won his 2nd championship in a row. So I just want to let everyone know, 2 in a row. He wins one more, wins another one in March. Suddenly he's eligible to be the top rank sumo in the world. So shout out to my large adult Ukrainian son. Let's get into this football shit.
Shout out to Aonishiki. I say it right?
Aonishiki, yep.
That a boy. Listen, I'm in a darkness retreat right now, Jonny. It's been real dark these last couple days. It's been real dark. I need to hit up that boy Aaron. But listen, for your last Couch Coach, we have yours truly, founder of Omnipresence Productions, co-founder of the Couch Coach Pod, former resident of Stitty City. Some call me commissioner. I've been called in the last 3 days a bitch, a clown, a pussy, someone that doesn't know ball, and some other words I dare not say on the air, but you can call me Coogii. And I also lost all my bets, Johnny, so that's partly why I'm in the darkness retreat, because I could not afford the lights this month.
That makes sense.
Lost it all on the gambling, guys. Delete the apps.
He's got all of the gear hooked up to a gas-powered generator. Yeah, delete the apps until we get sponsored, and then re-download them and use our code.
I paid the rest of the electric bill. I just couldn't pay the light portion. They were like, "Oh, we'll keep it connected, but you can't. The lights are got to come out."
No lights.
So yeah, it's been dark. But all I gotta say is, nah, we're good. Broncos country, we're good. We'll be back.
That's right.
We'll be back. But let's get into it, Johnny. With our conference championship round edition of the Couch Coach Chronicle, the segment where we react to games for the people, by the people. Our first Couch Coach Chronicle headline: Dynasty Reboot. Drake Maye and Mike Vrabel subdue the mile-high storm. The flurries in Denver became a whiteout as Drake Maye navigated a fierce Broncos front and a relentless snowstorm. While the air attack was frozen by the elements, Maye's legs and a legendary defensive performance led New England to a 10-7 win. The Patriots are headed back to the Super Bowl for the 12th time, proving that under Mike Vrabel, the dynasty has officially returned. But Johnny, Drake Maye became the first quarterback to win 3 playoff games against top 5 total defenses in a single postseason. Is he already the most playoff-ready young quarterback since the early Tom Brady years?
No, I mean, lest we forget that Patrick Mahomes made it to the AFC Championship year 1 and won a Super Bowl year 2. I just want to make sure that we're not forgetting about that. I know he wasn't a rookie year 1, but it was his first year starting. He won the MVP, went to the AFC Championship, lost to Tom Brady, and then won a Super Bowl in the second year. So let's not since Tom Brady.
And to add to that, you could argue even to this point in their career, Mahomes, he's never had a season as bad as Maye did last year, as far as record.
Yeah, but I mean, Maye didn't start until halfway through, and he had definitely the worst coach that any of those guys have had. I mean, it doesn't get much worse than the state of affairs that Gerard Mayo had that team in. Drake didn't play bad his first season. He actually played really well.
He wasn't bad. It just didn't translate the wins.
No, it didn't, because they didn't have a team. Now they have a team. And look, Drake in 3 games has done exactly enough to win. Because that's the only thing you can't really give him yet, is he hasn't dominated. He's done exactly what was necessary to win in every game. Whether that was get 10 points and no turnovers in the Broncos game, or just don't turn the ball over as many times as CJ Stroud did in the Texans game.
Yeah.
So if Drake were to have a, Sam Darnold-esque performance in that AFC Championship, then we could be talking comparisons. But look, none of that matters now, because we don't remember the path. We really don't. Unless it's great, no one cares about the path. All we remember is the destination. And if Drake Maye somehow wins this Super Bowl, we will remember him as the guy that defeated all the best defenses in the league back to back to back to back to win it all in his second year and solidify the Patriots as the winningest NFL team in the Super Bowl era. So I
know it hurts for you to say that.
Pains me to say that. Hey man, look, I'm not cheering for it. How much I'll cheer for Drake Maye ended Sunday at 4:00, or I guess it was at 3. So the game started at 3. Yeah. So Sunday at 7:00. That was when it ended.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think it's. I mean, he has not played well this entire postseason. Let's not act like he's playing like some star that's just lighting it up. Like he's just like you said, he's just getting the job done. Like he's not playing great by any stretch of the mark. I mean, if you just look at and now I'm sound like a Chargers fan right now, but if you just take away the turnovers from Stidham, like that was the key. But if you take away the turnovers, the other quarterback stats were better in Stidham's favor.
They were more robust.
One turnover, obviously, game situation, trying to drive at the end. Probably not throwing the same types of passes if you are in a lead, or even at that point tied, you're probably not taking that risk on that interception. And the fumble, you could argue if it should have been a fumble, if it should have been an incomplete pass, but it was called a fumble. But then even then, right, we've seen things happen like that with Drake Maye. It just didn't happen this game. So all that to say, no, he's not lighting it up. So I wouldn't even give him top 3. I mean, Mahomes is obviously going to be up there. I don't have 2 off top of my dome, but there's no way he's top 3 with what he's done so far, just in one run. If he had a run last year, then he did something and looked a little bit better, or even if he looked just like this last year but went on a run, then I give him some credit, or more credit.
I mean, Joe Burrow's second year run was more impressive.
Joe Burrow, yep, you got Joe Burrow. I don't even know who else would be.
Jaden didn't make the Super Bowl, so you can't say Jaden.
But Jaden did light it up, though. If Maye wins the Super Bowl, this answer might be different. But if Maye loses the Super Bowl, I might have to go Jaden, because Jaden kind of lit it up.
Was Jalen Hurts, was that his second year starting that he made the Super Bowl?
I think it was like third or fourth. I mean, it just depends on what you call young, right? Like, I mean, first few years to me are young, but I think it might have been his third year, and then fifth year won it.
I think it was his third year in the league, but I think it was his second year starting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's another one. I mean, he played great for the playoffs, and especially in the Super Bowl, even though he lost. So, it doesn't bode well. Pat's the only one in his second year starting that won it, since Brady.
And the question was most.
And Roethlisberger also won it in his second year.
So, no, definitely not most. Not most. It's a hard no. It's a hard no on that one. But, Johnny, does this 10-7 loss fall on Sean Payton's?
Russell Wilson also won it in his second year.
He did.
Okay, now it's your turn. That second year as a starter. Yeah.
Does this 10-7 loss, Johnny, fall on Sean Payton's aggressive fourth down gambling, or was the Broncos' offense simply too limited by the absence of Bo Nix to realistically compete with the Mike Vrabel defense?
Directly the first one. Sean Payton could have had 3 points, and he didn't get 3 points. He trusted a backup quarterback who, to that point in the game, was playing well. I can't say
he was lighting up that first drive, bro.
Right, to that point in the game. On that first drive, I literally, when he hit that first bomb, I literally out loud went, "Jarrett the Javelin." Like, holy shit, is it about to happen? Is he about to actually be Jarrett the Javelin? And we'll have a Nick Foles situation on our hands. But alas, was not meant to be. So directly you could just say, yeah, man, you lost by 3 points, and you had 3 points sitting right there on a silver platter. You could have had it. And if that wasn't the drive where they went down and scored a touchdown, was it?
Yeah.
Like that, was that the one?
It might not have been the opening drive, might have been the second drive.
No, I'm saying the drive where the Patriots went down and scored and tied it up.
No, the Patriots only tied it up because of that. Literally, the only score the Patriots had all day came on a 20-yard drive. It was right at the end. Because of that. Right. No, second quarter, Jarrett Stidham fumbles on a pass. He pump fakes.
Oh, it was that one. Okay,
He pump fakes. So they probably went like 3 and out or something. We got the ball back. He pump fakes it. And then he goes to throw it again, and he goes like this, and they deemed it backwards.
I remember
they called it incomplete on the field, too.
They called it incomplete, and then the guy picked it up and took it to the house just in case. And then they were like, maybe. And yeah, I do remember. That was a bizarre series of events. I was
so shocked. But if you think about it,
it was definitely was a fumble.
Without that fumble, they only scored 3 points all day. 6 maybe.
Yeah.
We won that game 7-6.
But that's the difference. That's the difference.
I'm just like, I'm saying though, so they called the timeout. They called the timeout before that play to get a play.
For the people at home, by the way, we're recording this on Wednesday, so this is not as fresh in our minds as it normally would be.
They called they called that play a timeout before that, and then what they did was they put it in his hands, right? I mean, they could have just ran the ball, punted it, flip field position, whatever, trust the defense. But he went for long third down conversion and it might have been a screen pass too. I'm pretty sure it was literally a screen pass. I think. Yeah. Which is the worst because that defense is going to be there because you got offensive linemen that are bailing on purpose. And they might chip a little bit, but they're bailing to get to their block. So he should have won through the ball the first time he punt faked it. 2, just kept the sack. Even the sack and the punt were great. But so that was when they scored the touchdown, and then that was field,
okay.
And then that
so it wasn't. So either way, the 3 points. I was gonna say, was it like a 6 or a 10-point swing?
But that still would have been 10-7. No, right? No, it would have made it 10-7 there.
No, right there it was.
Oh no, it would have been 10-0 there. It would have been 10-0 there. So that play,
they went down and scored. Yeah, right. Okay, it would have been 10-zip, but it was actually instead
7-0.
They just left 3 off the thing. Yeah. So all that to say, we did a roundabout thing because I was going to say,
directly,
was that a 10-point swing?
Sean Payton, yeah. You said directly Sean Payton.
But at the end of the day, the game was lost on actually one thing, and it was the difference between Jarrett Stidham and Bo Nix. Because Jarrett Stidham made mistakes that Bo Nix wouldn't make. And in the end, you needed a fourth quarter miracle drive that Bo Nix has been putting together all season. And Jarrett Stidham couldn't do it. And so, but I said it before. I said it before the game. There's no shame in this loss because you lose by 3 and your starter is not there. You could walk out reasonably believing that you would have won that game had Bo Nix not broken his ankle.
I believe we could have won that game with Stiddy. That's what I'm so mad about.
You could have.
We really could have been in Stiddy City, bro, all night long. It would have
been funny. The thing is that you still nothing's changing. You currently. Do you know who your highest paid player on your roster is?
Not Russell Wilson anymore.
Well, this season it was Russell Wilson. Is my point. So
we got Cap, baby.
Look,
we get free agents. We getting everybody.
That's what I'm saying.
We getting
everybody. You could
everybody.
put together a rebuild, a Patriots-esque rebuild,
and we got
not even a rebuild, but
3 more years of Bo Nix on a rookie salary.
Yeah, not a rebuild, a build, an expansion onto the team, a remodel, if you will, and flesh out some of the weaker points of the offense. Really. Flesh out
before any salary cap increases. They got $35 million projected with Russell dropping off, and they got 3 more years of Bo Nix on a rookie deal.
Right, so you got space to add on pieces. Bo could obviously use some more receiving help. Maybe get a more dependable veteran running back. Someone, hey man. Does Achane really want to stay in Miami with McDaniel gone?
Oh well, nah, we don't. I don't know, man. It would have been nice to see JK play this game or us win this game and see JK in the Super Bowl. But I believe in JK. And then RJ Harvey's going to take the step next year. So why would you want to bring in somebody else?
Because
if you're going to trade Harvey,
I'm saying that RJ just seems like he's better when he's a change of pace receiving back.
They should just put him as slot receiver.
Yeah, no, he's good as a third down receiving guy. That was when he was operating the best and his most effective was when he was a change of pace.
Keep JK between the tackles. You're saying then you have Achane for change of pace. Because
I'm saying you get rid of JK.
Achane isn't going to be between the tackles though.
but it's not between the tackles. It's just like running downs. I'm not saying necessarily
I
HN.
mean, hey, who knows? They
Anyone,
can have
but
a zone scheme because they're gonna have a new OC this year.
I am the. I don't know how I'm in this camp, but I think I'm in like the farthest end of the J.K. Dobbins doubter camp. Because everyone's like,
before he was even a Bronco,
good,
before he was even a Bronco,
he's so good. And I go, I know. For 8 weeks, that's what you get out of J.K. Dobbins. You get 8 weeks every year. He will never make it to the end of the season. He's been in this league for 5 years. He gets injured every year. Every year. It's not Christian McCaffrey level where sometimes he's injured and sometimes he's great.
This was his first injury. No, he was great before this injury this year. He was one of the best backs.
I know he was. He's always great before his injury.
But here's the thing, though.
To
his defense, though, he did not get hurt like his last injuries in a situation where it was like a routine tackle or a routine like play, and he just got hurt. This was a hip drop tackle, which they have tried to ban from the NFL, but they can't seem to enforce it.
Or J.K. Dobbins is
other players have gotten hurt on this hip drop tackle.
He's Brandon Roy, bro. He's Brandon Roy. I get it. I know, guys. I know how good he is when he's not injured. What?
Bro, Nix hurt his ankle too. What you gotta say about that?
Right. We know that Bo Nix is not an injury prone over the last 5 years.
Knock on wood. You better knock on some wood.
All right, I'll do that for you.
But we gotta keep moving, Johnny. We gotta keep moving. Yeah. So for the people, Johnny, you essentially those couple plays, we know where it turned. But directly, Sean Payton. That was the cause, that aggressive fourth down call, obviously 3 points. Was there an indirectly with that?
No, I think my actual answer is Jarrett Stidham versus Bo Nix. That's the real answer.
Oh, okay.
Because
that's the answer.
I'm saying that directly you could point at that one play, but at the end of the day, we know what the actual answer is that Bo Nix has been making fourth quarter comebacks all season and Jarrett couldn't get it done.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. Now, so my answer... It's kind of like yours, but yeah, I mean, you 3 points, right? 10-0 ball game, completely different ball game. Probably don't even call the same play that you call in that third down that the fumble happened on if you're up 10-0 as opposed to 7-7 trying to get something happening. So, I mean, yeah, you can blame Sean Payton. The one thing I will say, I feel like I'm like a North Korea citizen, like with this whole last week. Because the propaganda has been so crazy that like we actually all believed, like wholeheartedly, like not like he might do it, like he will do it with Jarrett. Like it's literally the propagandas. Like it was crazy after the game. I'm just like, wow, like this is what it likes. This is what it is like to just see lying in your face for 2 weeks, like a week and a half. I'm like,
Sean Payton was certainly confident. Certainly confident.
And he believes in himself, and honestly, if he won that game, it would have been the opposite argument, right? Look what happened. But yeah,
I don't think there's anything wrong with anything he said. He told you this team was capable of winning the Super Bowl.
But it was crazy.
And you guys were in the AFC Championship without your starting quarterback.
Well, it was a fan-driven propaganda
he was right. too.
From that moment, it was fan-driven. Like we all had Jarrett sitting with the headphones in as our avatars. I changed mine for a little bit. Was so sad changing it back. I thought I was gonna have it there for 3 weeks. But yeah, and then to your point, I was thinking because to the point Drake made him play that well. When that snow came, man, that's basically when it was like you had to have had your points already. Because if you didn't already have your points, and now they did the good thing. They knew in the fourth quarter we did have the best side of the wind in the fourth quarter, which helped us a lot. We just couldn't capitalize on that. And obviously it still wasn't the best because when the receivers are facing the opposite side, they're facing, right, they come back to the ball, they're facing into it while the quarterback can see still. And the white jerseys didn't help either. But I was thinking a lot of those plays when I saw Jarrett Stidham take that long run, I thought to myself, man, Bo Nix could be doing what Drake May's doing on the other side right now and just carve him with legs. We could have literally had just rushing all over and over and spam the QB run and gotten at least a field goal at the end. So that's what it would have needed. Like running game wasn't going that great. Passing game for both teams not going great. Like you needed a quarterback that could just run. And Jarrett was going to have to catch him off guard every time. So that was tough. But yeah, That's my answer, though. Yeah, Sean Payton directly, like you said, but obviously Bo Nix the difference. Bo Nix and 2 turnover plays.
Mm-hmm.
Johnny, one last question. We'll give it a couple minutes. Quick answer on this one. The Snow Bowl. So the conditions sparked a massive online debate, Johnny, about neutral site conference championship games. Do you think that moving this game to a dome, in all games of this nature to a dome, would save the product that is the NFL? Or do you like the snow games? Do you like the drama? Do you like the elements being a part of the outcome?
Honestly, man, this sport ain't for you if you don't like the elements. It's not for you. Go watch basketball. Go watch baseball. Baseball, they call it quits if there's a drizzle. This is not the sport for you if you don't like the elements. And I don't like the idea of domes being built in, like, if you're gonna do it, do it. I can't stop you. But Lambeau Field, if it was a dome, would lose a lot of the allure.
Right.
Like isn't Buffalo's building
and
a dome
home field
right
advantage too.
Yeah, Buffalo's building a dome right now. That's lame. They're done at Highmark.
Yeah.
It's a dome now. Boo.
Well,
like
I get a retractable because then you can have other events if you put it up. But like retractable, you keep it open for the football stuff.
Right. Yeah, retractable's cool. Dallas does the retractable, obviously, so the guy can watch the games. But it's just, yeah, I think you're this ain't the sport for you if you don't like the elements being involved in it. It's cool as hell. It looks sick. The shot, have you seen the NFL Films shot of last week's game with of Drake May's pass to Butte in the end zone?
No.
And it's just this beautiful, like, cinematic ball flying through the snow. It's so good. And it wouldn't look as cool without the snow. Yeah, right. I'm pro snow game. I understand. The only way I would think, the only way I would be like cool with it is if the players were like, you don't understand, this is torture. We really can't be doing this. But I don't think that's the feeling of the players.
No, because there was a game, because it would be because of cold more so than the snow, and there was a game where players or fans had to go to the hospital for how cold they were, and players played that game.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, so I'm not gonna concern myself too much with it. But yeah, if you're saying neutral site, then just make every single stadium a dome. Then at that point, what are we doing?
Right, because then you lose home field completely. Unless you go neutral site and you can only sell tickets to home field, like home team fans. Then it's only home team fans, neutral site.
No, exactly the whole point. It's very lame. I don't like it.
Yeah,
I'm
pro snowball.
I'm
pro snowball. I like you said, the pictures. I like the they could play in a parking lot for all I give a damn. Like it's all about where it doesn't matter where you play. Just play. Put on the pads and play the game. So no, I'm pro snowball, and I like the convertibles, retractables, but definitely not permanent ones. No, definitely not permanent ones. And my last thing on this game before we move on, Johnny, I just want to say to everybody out there, I could be like the Bills fans, and I could blame the weather. I could blame refs. I could blame bad coaching. I could blame not having a starting quarterback. But you know what? I'm not going to. Congratulations to the New England Patriots. That's how we do it, and that's how we do
Honorable
it.
Man.
You wouldn't have got this same response from me 4 days ago, but here we are.
Just have some time.
Has some time to process. Our next Couch Coach Chronicle headline, Johnny: Redemption in the rain. Sam Darnold's career performance vaults Seahawks to Super Bowl LX. Now, rain and high-stakes drama collided in Seattle as Sam Darnold finally silenced the doubters on the game's biggest stage. Despite a heroic 374-yard effort from Matthew Stafford, the Seahawks' dark side defense stood firm with a massive fourth down stop. Behind a record-setting day from Jackson Smith and Jigba, Seattle is heading to the Super Bowl for a rematch 11 years in the making. Now, Johnny, focusing on the Seahawks. The Seahawks defense allowed a record 8.3 yards per play, but still advanced. Can this bend but not break philosophy survive against a New England team that doesn't make mistakes, or is the dark side defense playing with fire?
I think that if you can survive twice against Matthew Stafford, the likely MVP, you can certainly do it against Drake Maye, the likely MVP runner-up. I'm not going to overthink it. The Seattle makes big plays when it counts. They're sound on defense and special teams, which we know that was the Achilles heel of the Rams all year, was special teams, and that's what lost them this game ultimately.
Yep.
It seems like, if we're being honest here, if Sam Darnold does what he did in this game, plays to that level in the Super Bowl, no one's stopping him. There's no question. It's over.
Sammy.
Pack it in. If Sam Darnold locks in, listens to some bird sounds, locks in, heads out there, no one's stopping him. So, yeah, I think I have no concerns about the Seattle defense playing against the most prolific offense in the league, bending and not breaking.
You said the most prolific offense?
Mm-hmm.
The Patriots?
No, the Rams.
Oh, okay. Thank you. All right.
Yeah, I'm talking about the Rams. Like they bending and not breaking against the Rams. That doesn't concern me.
Oh,
because that's about that's your best case scenario, is bending and not breaking.
No, I gotta agree. I mean, again, Drake Maye is not playing that well. I mean, he's doing just enough to get the job done, but if he plays to the same level that he's played the last 3 games, this game is not going to be close. I want to see a good game. I want it to be close, but I could see this being a shootout, and I could see the Patriots not getting enough points. We'll get to that later and a little bit more in depth next week. But yeah, no, I just think that they're going to survive, but I don't think they're going to bend at all this week or 2 weeks from now, Super Bowl. I think we're going to see a stout defense. We're going to see a couple turnovers. And I think the Seahawks are going to play their best game of the postseason defense-wise in the Super Bowl.
Really?
Yeah.
Better than they played against the Niners?
Well,
that's a tall order.
You can play better defense and not have the same score.
Okay.
Yeah, not as a team I'm saying they're going to play better per se, but as a defense, yeah. I think they'll against the Niners? Oh, come on now. Yeah, they'll play better.
Then they played against the Niners.
On defense.
Who they didn't allow a single touchdown to.
On defense.
Okay.
Slash special teams.
All right. Who they housed the
my bad. Forget special teams, just defense.
They housed the kick return play 1 and then held the Niners to 6 total points.
All right. Early prediction. They're going to cut that down to 3.9 yards per play in the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Seahawks defense, 3.9 yards per play allowed in the Super Bowl. Sporstradamus, mark it down. Johnny, Matthew Stafford is the first quarterback to lose a playoff game with 350 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 0 turnovers. With retirement rumors swirling, does he stay for one more run with this elite core? Or is this the perfect time for him to walk away?
From what I've heard, I believe he is staying, but we'll see. That's what
do you
seems to be in the rumor mill. He's going to stay.
Now, what's he going to do? What do you think he should do, Johnny?
Depends on how much money he wants to make. Look, he seems like he hasn't taken a step back. It seems like he's playing the best ball of his career. So if you still got it in you and you want to do it, it's an Andrew Luck decision at this point, I think. You made enough money. The question is, this is a health question for him. Where is your health at? can you thug it out
How's that
for
back
another
doing?
season or two?
How's
that back actually doing? Yeah, and you got to figure it out sooner rather than later, because I know full well that old Shawnee McVay does not want to go into next season with Jimmy Garoppolo as his starting quarterback. So you got to give him some time to figure that out. So my guess is going to be no. I think he's not retiring. I think he's going to come back.
I also saw a report that he should be coming back, but I don't know. I mean, if he wins an MVP, go out like that?
I don't think he can take a step back as far as his legacy. Okay. Unless he walks out there and just sucks, but I don't think that's going to happen.
What if it's like a quick, we've seen quarterbacks just have a quick drop off.
Russell Wilson? Yeah, possibly.
Because he's younger, isn't he? Yeah, he's younger.
Yeah, Russell Wilson's way younger. But I'm saying that he just one day woke up and sucked. So, I know. Yeah, I think that
jury's still out.
He's got
some time.
I don't think. I think that Matt Stafford's legacy is pretty firmly established. It's like nobody takes the final Colts year, against Phillip Rivers' legacy. Like, that doesn't matter. Nobody's gonna knock like Drew Brees' final 2 years as a mark on his legacy. Like, if you're old and you suddenly take a step back, or even like Aaron Rodgers, nobody's gonna be like, oh, he played his worst seasons in the last 2 years of his career. Like, yeah, I guess that's how it works. So,
yeah, I mean,
why not? You got nothing to lose aside from your health, and that's a health question. I think that's the only question.
Nah, he should run it back. Run it back. I mean, even if he takes a step back, they still have a chance to compete.
Mm-hmm.
And if everybody around him gets better proportionate to the step he takes back, they could still make it farther than they did this year, depending on, obviously, health and other things going their way. But yeah, throw that bag at him. See if he'll come back. But like you said, McVay's not going to wait too long. That draft coming up, there's not a ton of quarterbacks, but McVay's confident. And he's got a first-round pick, I think, if they still have them.
Two.
I was going to say.
He's got two.
So at least one at the back of the first round. So good spot for a quarterback under the radar.
Round pick. He's got the Falcons at I think 10.
Yeah, but this year you're not picking a quarterback top 10. We'll see, though.
I heard about some 5'9" demon might come out and really change the game. You see that? Diego Pavia's
no, 5'9". He'll be good.
I
would pick him at 20 at pick 25, 26.
Bro, he's shorter than Kyler Murray.
I'd pick him at pick 20. Or no, they're gonna have like pick 20, 28.
You can't pick a short quarterback.
No.
I'm very anti-short quarterback.
30. They'll have 29 or 30. I'd pick him at 29 or 30.
You got to be 6 feet tall minimum. Really 6 feet to be crazy. A quarterback in the NFL.
In this day and age, bro, stop being racist.
Yeah.
Stop being heightist.
I know. That's the thing, is that I'm saying this as a 6'4" man, so it is a little bit.
Yeah, you're hating on that man. You're hating on that man.
I am looking down upon people.
John doesn't want to see short people get their money. That's what it is.
Everyone's just the next Drew Brees. Every little short guy that comes into the league is the next Drew Brees, and none of them are actually.
Mobile.
All right, so the next Kyler Murray, better.
Pavia's the next Johnny Manziel.
Oh, even better.
Hold on, Johnny Manziel's his mentor, but with less behavior issues that are going to result in him not being able to finish his career, with some issues on the field behavior-wise. But again, has Johnny Manziel to mentor him through the mistakes that he made. And I think if Johnny Manziel, you take what he did off the field, I think talent was there. It wasn't the talent that was a question. It was the commitment to the game. It was everything else. Johnny Manziel would still be playing today if he had. I can't put him
like a Justin Herbert fan.
I can't put him too much on a pedestal. Nah, it's not even like that. But if he had like Baker's passion and drive, and like he channeled it that way, he'd still be playing.
Or Baker's height.
He's like 2 inches shorter than Baker.
Yeah, that's all it is. That's the difference.
Oh my god.
Baker's at 6 feet tall, man.
Oh my god. So yeah, run it back. Throw that bag at him. Make sure you get that get them above the board massages for the back. Get the back looking right. But Johnny, Jackson Smith and Jigba and Puka Nacua are now both contract extension eligible. If you could keep only one as your foundational wide receiver for the next 5 years, who are you taking based on their performances this Sunday? And I'm going to expand that out to beyond just this Sunday because I like the full body of work. But who are you taking if you had to pick just one over the next 5 years to extend?
Are we going just off of talent and ability and all that, or are we doing the entire everything about them?
Body of work, production, but what you also think for the future. You could go based off the scheme they're in, coach they have, whatever.
Yeah, but we're talking like I'm saying the type of guy they are too.
Oh my God, are you talking about height? Is this another short thing?
No, nothing to do with height. This is about the personality exclusively.
Yeah.
If I am taking away everything
God.
and I'm just
all right, well, okay, you're a GM. You're a GM, so you would factor that into who you'd pay. So
I'm factoring that in.
You GM hat on.
JSN.
Because Puka
here's why.
Okay.
Lately. Here's the thing with Puka, right?
He could go Devontae.
There's two big.
AB.
Here's what I'll say. I think Puka's better than JSN. Like just straight up, Puka can do things that JSN can't.
Of course,
Puka can make contested catches and one-handed catches, sideline grabs. He can do things that JSN's not capable of doing. I've just seen it. I've seen Puka do things that I don't think anyone else in the league can do right now. He does it almost once a game. It's crazy. So his ceiling, I think, is a little higher than JSN.
Okay.
The problem is there's two issues. Puka, A, has gone on record and saying he does not want to play past 30. That he does not want to stick around long-term in the league. So you're talking you've got a Megatron lifespan for this. You got a Megatron career span or a Barry Sanders career span. That's how long you get. I'm not saying that he'll be that good, but maybe, who knows?
Maybe.
Also, too, Puka went on an Aiden Ross stream and did a weirdly anti-Semitic thing. And look, man, I don't think that Puka is an anti-Semite, but I think that implies poor judgment and stupidity to an extent. Mm-hmm. So I and you know who doesn't do shit like that? The guy who was praying to God on the sideline during the final drive of the Rams when they were trying to win it with 20 seconds on the clock and no timeouts. And he was sitting there kneeling down on the sideline praying. I went, all right, that's a dude you can trust to take the game serious, not make stupid mistakes. I don't see JSN floating around making dumb decisions.
Right.
But I've seen Puka do it. So,
do you know I think who he hangs out with?
JSN?
Yeah.
No idea who he hangs out with.
Exactly.
Yeah. He seems like a dude
that's how we like it with our stars.
He's the rare non-Devo wide receiver, at least so far. So if I'm gonna rank them against each other, I think Puka's a little better than JSN, but I think that if I'm actually picking a guy for the long term, I don't think he's enough better than JSN for me to trust him, to put my trust in him.
Right.
So I would go JSN long term. But just off talent, it would be Puka.
I'm going to keep it real. I think that, well, first of all, Justin Jefferson and the Vikings gotta be so pissed right now. More Justin Jefferson. He should request a trade immediately if Sam wins Super Bowl.
They deserve to be pissed.
They should be pissed. They should be very.
They
pissed.
should be. But they fucked it though. They're pissed at themselves though. They fucked it. They had him. They had him in their room, and he won 14 games and threw for 4,000 yards. And they went,
Daniel Jones.
What? And they went, anyone can do that. And that's just not true. Like when you reflect upon how ridiculous of a decision that is, they thought, my coach is so good. I am so good at my job that anyone can do that.
Hey, hindsight's 2020. Hindsight's 2020.
But nobody does that. Nobody throws for 4,014 wins.
I think most starting caliber quarterbacks in the league, anybody could do that with him. But 9 is not a starting caliber quarterback, and I've been on that train since the draft night, bro. Before
I'll keep it a buck. I don't think that is the case.
2024? Yeah, before we even had a pod, I was saying that nigga was not an NFL quarterback.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm just saying that I don't think that. I don't think like Kevin O'Connell is such a good coach that any starting caliber quarterback
I think if you take quarterbacks 15 through 25 in the league, they could do what Darnold did for him.
I don't think they could. I think that's a really high mark to hit. 4,000 yards and 14 wins. It's an insane mark to hit.
We gonna have
like to, that is like that's MVP numbers. Those are MVP numbers. The only reason he didn't win the MVP was because of his past history, and people didn't want to give him credit for it. Like,
I hear you,
and he did it twice in a row. That's real.
We gonna have to agree. I'm big on Kevin O'Connell still, so we'll see.
I think he's a good coach, but I don't think anybody is so good that any starting caliber quarterback can put up numbers like that.
Kyle Shanahan.
But Kyle Shanahan's quarterbacks don't put up numbers like that. Like, the closest was the one Purdy year. He had a really good year. But beyond that, it's not like he's more of a run. Like, his offense will put up numbers, but not the quarterback.
That's another.
The offense will, but not the quarterback.
That's another debate for another day. I'm gonna have we're gonna have to get a shoot on unsettled debates at one point. I'll just unsettle debates throughout all these fucking recordings. But we'll get back to that in the future because I don't know. We'll see. But my answer, JSN, of course. Everything John said. Obviously, I'm an Ohio State fan, so that factors in. But to add to that, I mentioned again, do we know who he hangs out with? No. What I do know is Puka Nacua's brother got arrested for stealing a Lakers player's car. And they got off. It got dropped because he claimed that he thought it was Puka's car. Which tells me one of two things. One, you keep people around you who are willing to drop your name in headlines that you know are only headlines because he's your brother. Or two, you're cool with him using your name to lie to the law. And adding to what John said, I can't trust that with my star receiver long term. I think he could be on some, not projecting a downfall, but I'm hoping we don't see some AB shit.
Now, if you go on Aiden Ross's stream, I want you nowhere near any type of money making. I don't want you near any money making opportunity that I have. That if you go on Aiden Ross's stream at all, ever, and I'll say this for the future, anyone, if I blow up, if we blow up on this, anyone I'm associated with professionally, I never want to see you associated with Aiden Ross, or I will cut you completely because it implies such poor judgment that you don't know anything about what you're saying yes to, or you condone what you're saying yes to, and that's even worse. So I want, like, and that's just me talking shit because I think that Aiden Ross, if you associate with those people of that ilk, that is just career cancer. Don't do that.
No, I hear you. Yeah, JSN all the way. But Johnny, any last thoughts on this game? This was a great game. It's a shame that somebody had to lose. This would have been a great Super Bowl.
Yeah, I feel like it was the Super Bowl in a way. As much as that's not a hot take, obviously. I think a lot of people think that. But
yeah,
the only thing I'm glad because it's a great story for Sam Darnold, and we're getting the Mike Bowl. That's fun. Mike Macdonald, Mike Vrabel. That's fun. We like the Mike Bowl. Rough week for guys named Sean. Not great.
Rough week, yeah. We could have had the Sean Bowl or the Mike Bowl.
Mm-hmm. Sean McDermott got fired. Sean McVay and Sean Payton both lost. So rough week for the Seans.
Rough week.
All that to say, though, the only thing that I'm a little sad about is I think that the best story, if you're scripting it, the best story is Rams versus Patriots. Because not only are you getting MVP versus MVP runner-up, which one is, obviously the other is the runner-up.
Yep.
You're also getting Drake May in his second year against the most prolific offense in the league, the Rams, and he has to take them down. And the MVP, and he has to take them down. Very similar to Tom Brady in his second year in the league, having to go up against the most prolific offense in the league in the Rams with the MVP.
Yeah, but Tom won. I don't even want to project that arc.
Right. I'm saying it would have been an interesting.
It would have been.
It would have been a more
But
interesting
this has
story.
it too, though. You have the pass at the 1 yard line.
Right. You get the getting their licks back for not only Seattle but also Sam Darnold specifically. He gets to get his lick back against
they
the
were
league
a rival.
that
They were a rival
forgot
too.
him. Yeah.
So he gets a lick back on the Patriots, lick back on the Jets. He gets a lick back on the Vikings.
Was
lick back on the
was the
league.
Patriots the team
Seeing
who
ghosts.
he was seeing ghosts against?
Yeah,
Was it the Patriots?
yeah.
Wow. So that actually is a good story too. It's both good. I like them
Just
both.
picture the
Obviously,
headline. Sam Darnold, Ghostbusters.
Ghostbuster. Yeah, someone will say that. I think both of us will go on record and say neither of us is going to cheer for the Patriots in this game.
No,
I think no one. I don't think anyone outside of the great region of New England is going to be cheering for the Patriots in this game. I'm doing it out of the fact that I'm a Steelers fan and I can't have another team passing us in the all-time Super Bowl rings category. And I'm assuming Coogie's doing it because out of just pure vindictive energy towards the team that knocked the Broncos out.
I mean, if you asked me 2 days ago, I would have told you I'm not even going to watch Super Bowl. But, but now it's a hate watch. It's a hate watch. I want to see all them Patriots fans in Cancun with the rest of us.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, we're in Cancun right now. By the way,
we're gonna sign off with Cancun. Don't worry, we're gonna sign off with a Cancun. I almost said wear your beach outfit today.
Yeah, that's not happening.
No, it's too.
I am wearing my beach outfit. Whenever I go to the beach, I put on my Vancouver Canucks jersey.
He wears a full-on Canucks. Yeah, Canucks jersey.
Normally, I put the pads on too if I went to the beach, but I didn't have the time today to put them on. So
they call them the Nucks. That'd be a cool nickname.
I'm not the guy, man. For everyone on record, just to let you know, I don't watch hockey. I don't know anything about hockey. My grandma lives in the city with the farm team for the Canucks, and she won this in a raffle. So beyond that, I don't know much. I don't know shit else about hockey. I know 3 hockey players all time. 3 all time.
Yep,
that's
and
it.
You just learned who Alex Ovechkin was.
And that's number 3. Ovechkin. Yeah, when he broke the record, that was when I learned who Alex Ovechkin was. and I also know Sidney Crosby and Wayne Gretzky. That's my list.
Crazy. But yeah, guys, final score: Seahawks 31-27 to Rams. Rams got sent home packing. Bad week for Sean's, like John said. But guys, check this out. It's that time of the year again. The Super Bowl for all the marbles.
A big game.
All the marbles. We got some picks to make. This playoffs is interesting, Johnny. So here's how it's going so far. First of all, we scrapped our brackets. I'll let you know both our champs are out. Brought from the beginning bracket from the playoffs. Broncos, Texans, gone.
For the record, I crossed off the Seahawks. I almost picked the Seahawks, and then I went, no, it's a funnier story if I pick the Bears, because then the story is Texans, Bears. It's the put the hand on the shoulder game, but couldn't do it.
Both wrong on the champ from the beginning, but we can get the champ right for the week, for the Super Bowl this time. We get a redo. But last week, I had the Broncos and the Seahawks. You had the Patriots and the Seahawks, Johnny. You went 2-0. I went 1-1, and oddly enough, our records are tied at 8-4 in the playoffs. 16-8 combined in the playoffs. But here's what we're going to do. This week, Johnny, we are going to pick the winner of the game. Next week, before the Super Bowl, we're going to pick the score. That way, if we end up with a tie, that's a tiebreaker. That way you have, some time to gather your data, figure out what you want the score to be. But the winner's permanent. We're going to pick the winner here. So, Johnny, we have the Patriots versus the Seahawks, and they're giving the Patriots 4.5 points as of January 28th, 2026 at, 12 p.m.
I'm going with the Seahawks. It is a team that is fundamentally sound, that has talent at all phases. When you have the best at most positions, it's going to be pretty hard to stop you. You definitely have the best running back. You definitely have the best receiver by far. You definitely have at least a comparable O-line. You have definitely the better defense. And you have at least how we played in the playoffs. But no. Drake May is probably better right now than Sam Darnold, but that's about it. That's really it. And then Hunter Henry is better than AJ Barner.
In the last two, not how they played since
right. If we're just looking at the playoffs,
since Drake,
then the Seahawks have the advantage at quarterback. But if we're just talking about the whole year, comparable at the very least.
Comparable.
So I just think that it's a much more sound team. They make they make you pay for mistakes. They have an X factor on special teams in two different phases of it. One being Rashid Shaheed, the other one being Jason Myers, who was the leading scorer at the kicker in the entire season this year. So all of those reasons, I think that the Seahawks will pull it out, but I think it'll be a good game. I think it will be a good game.
I got the Seahawks in this game. I think they're better across the board. The only thing I'm giving the Patriots is coach, which is why I picked them to win the division, of course, before the season. But I just don't think they have it, the pieces. I don't think Drake's played well enough. Drake's going to need to play like Matt Stafford did if they're going to have a chance to win this game. It'll be a good game. I think it'll be more high scoring than we might think. But I would take the line if I was betting. I'd take the Seahawks. I mean, I think we could be – I can't give the score just yet. Next week. Mm-hmm. But I'm going the Seahawks. And I don't think it's going to be as close as the line suggests, even though the line suggests that it could be a blowout, considering what lines typically are spaced. So, yeah, give me the Seahawks. Just better across the board outside of coach.
They're giving the Seahawks as much of an advantage as they gave the Patriots over the Broncos by the end of the week. The line opened at plus 5.5 for the Broncos, but it ended at plus 4.5, I believe. Mm-hmm. So they're giving the Seahawks that much of an advantage.
Right. Well, they gave there were some 4.5 lines for some other games that were kind of disrespectful. I think the 49ers and the 49ers Seahawks might have been maybe 5.5, 6, something like that. Might have been 7.5. I don't remember, but yeah.
I think it was 7.5. I think it was.
I just I feel like the line could look disrespectful. Like that looks like a blowout game based off betting standards, but I don't think it's. Yeah, it's gonna be more than that. We'll just say that. You know, it could be 8-3. But anyway, that's our picks. We both got the Seahawks, so we will need that score next week for a tiebreaker. Either way. But Jonny, we're gonna go back to school. We're giving out grades. It feels good to be on the other side of the grades. You know what I'm saying? But
I'm ready.
Coaching hire cycle. A lot of updates. 10 jobs were open to start. We now have 8 that are filled. 8 that are filled, Jonny. So the Bills, the search in Buffalo is over as the Bills promote offensive coordinator Joe Brady to head coach on a 5-year deal. At just 36 years old, Brady becomes the youngest head coach in the NFL, tasked with finally pushing Josh Allen in this high-powered offense over the Super Bowl hump. Brady will continue to call plays in 26 to maintain continuity for the MVP finalist Josh Allen. Under Brady in 2025, the Bills' offense ranked 4th in scoring, 28.3 points per game, and 3rd in rushing. And former head coach Sean McDermott was fired after 9 seasons, of course, following that loss to Denver. But Jonny, what's your grade for this hire?
A D.
Oof.
Just because I don't understand it doesn't really make sense to me. It from everything we heard from the owner, especially what he said in that meeting or in the press conference, it seemed like he was going for like a hard reset. Yeah. That like he said that he wasn't sold on firing McDermott, but that the loss gutted the team so hard that they had to do a strong reset. And that makes sense, and I agree with you. Like, I agree with him wholeheartedly. That was what had to happen.
Yep, we all thought that.
So why do you hire from within? It just doesn't make sense at all to me. And like, the only reason to get a D is because Joe Brady has been a good OC. Like, he has been a good play caller for them, undoubtedly.
Undoubtedly.
So he obviously is going to do a good job with the offense. But my question is, like, what changes then? Like, there isn't even a new voice in the room. It's just they've shifted the voice to the middle. I just don't understand it. It doesn't really make sense to me. That doesn't seem like you're accomplishing what you set out to do. Mind you, maybe it's a condemnation of Sean McDermott. Like, they're saying Sean McDermott was the problem, that he was holding Joe Brady back. I don't know. I don't believe that was the case. I think the whole cadre was probably the problem.
Right.
So I'm going to give it a D just because it doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I'll give it a C minus. I'll give it a C minus. The reason I'm a little bit higher than you, Johnny. So one, continuity, right? Obviously, we were all thinking hard reset. We all thought they should have done a hard reset. But just the very fact that Josh Allen had to have signed off on this. He was
in the meeting.
He wants Joe Brady there. And I think part of this is the fact that I think they're not confident enough in any of the outside coaches right now. I mean, they interviewed Philip Rivers, for God's sake. I mean, and I think Philip could be a great coach one day, but like, this was more of a look-see just to see, pick his brain, what he thinks they could do to improve from the outside looking in. But all that to say, I think they promoted him because they don't want to lose him. They might lose him to some other team if they don't promote him. And if they don't feel confident in anybody else, then they have to go with someone they're confident with and hope that he does things differently. And then he's got to bring in, and he's bringing in Jim Leonard from the Broncos as D coordinator, which he'll be a good D coordinator. So I'll give it a C minus. I'll give it a C minus for me, Johnny. This one you might have some stuff to get off your chest. But the Steelers, Johnny, a new era begins in the Steel City as Mike McCarthy takes the reins as the next head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Following Mike Tomlin's 19-year tenure, Mike McCarthy brings a Super Bowl pedigree and a reputation for elite quarterback development to one of the league's most storied franchises. McCarthy replaces Tomlin, who stepped down after a first-round playoff loss. The focus immediately shifts to the QB room and whether McCarthy wants to pursue a reunion with Aaron Rodgers, which he said he would be open to. And McCarthy holds a 193, 114, and 2 career record and previously led the Packers to a Super Bowl XLV title. What do you grade this higher, Johnny?
All right, before I grade it, I want to just lay some stuff down real quick. Before the Steelers signed Aaron Rodgers, I think I came on this podcast and I said, if the Steelers front office and ownership decided that they wanted to bring in Aaron Rodgers, it would shake my faith in the organization to a level that I couldn't understand. It would shake my faith so deeply because it would make me go, you like fundamentally do not have a direction. Like, you don't understand where this team is at, and you are consistently kicking the can down the road in a continuation of mediocrity. And by bringing in Aaron Rodgers, who you know is not good enough to get you over the hump at this point in his career, everyone knew it. You were lying to yourself if you thought otherwise. And not to mention that everything we had to believe, it didn't happen, but we had every reason to believe that we would have the Aaron Rodgers circus on our hands as well. And I just went, it would be really hard. It would shake my faith in the organization as presently constituted. The signing of Mike McCarthy at our head coach to replace Tomlin is worse. it has shaken my faith in the organization to the point where I go, oh, they literally don't know what they're doing even a little bit. Like, oh no, this is a bad ownership group.
Yeah, you're down.
Like, we used to be one of the greatest. It's bad now. Our GM is bad. Our ownership is bad because this hiring. Let me get out, by the way. Mike McCarthy's a good coach. He is a good coach objectively. He is. But hiring Mike McCarthy for this team right now, where we're at, shows such a fundamental misunderstanding of what this team is and where they're at as far as the timeline they're on, that it's almost incomprehensible how deeply you misunderstand your own team and where they're at. You know who should have hired Mike McCarthy? The Buffalo Bills or the Baltimore Ravens or a team that has most of its pieces in place and needs a dude who's proven that he's a good coach, that he knows what he's doing, he can hold the team together, he can hire the right coordinators and walk in there with a proven track record and instantly have the respect of the room and just be a new voice that gets everyone together and on the right track. That's not where the Steelers are, though. The Steelers are not in that position. The Steelers don't have a quarterback in all likelihood. And if we do, he's 43 years old next year or like this season. We have such a deep bloat on our defense as far as money that we're contributing to it for players that aren't actually playing up to that level. Right. We've had the same problems on offense for 5 years now. 5 years plus, ever since pretty much the killer bees were broken up. We've had the same problems on offense, which is poor offensive line play, weak running game, and not enough talent at receiver. Over and over and over and over. And mind you, also quarterback talent, but we already mentioned that. This team is the only team in the league, I think, that if you ask them, what would you rather win next year? 10 games or 3 games? I think the Steelers are the only team in the league that their fan base, vast majority, would say 3. We're at a point now where this was the time to take a big swing, to go and find somebody, some young guy with a vision for the team that he can impress upon it for a decade plus, whatever. Like that he's got time. Give him 5 full years to carry out the vision because the Steelers fans are willing to be patient right now. Hiring Mike McCarthy is a statement that you think the team is in a position to compete still. And it's not. And you're wrong if you think it is. I watched every game this season. I saw every snap that the Steelers take. I've seen every snap for the past 5-10 years. They're not ready to compete. This is not a team that is competitive. We all know it. And this just reeks to me as you still think it is and you're wrong. And if you wanted to keep competing, then Tomlin was the answer. Obviously, he wasn't going to stick around. But you hired a guy that's older than Tomlin by almost 10 years. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. It's such a bizarre decision to me that I don't think that they brought in Mike McCarthy to blow up the team and rebuild it. So they brought in a guy with an even more questionable playoff track record than Tomlin, a guy who is also known as a dude that doesn't show up in the playoffs, that chokes in the biggest moments, that also has won Super Bowl as a head coach.
Is he the white Mike Tomlin?
No, I wouldn't go that far, but he's a good coach. This was not the hire for us. Not even a little bit. And it showed such a misunderstanding of where the team is at and what they're capable of and all this fun stuff that I'm deeply shook in what the Steelers can even possibly do moving forward. It's really concerning that they did this. And I swear to you, they only did it because they think it's cute that he's a Pittsburgh fan and that he grew up in Pittsburgh. And it's the same reason we drafted Kenny Pickett. They're like, wouldn't that be cute? Wouldn't that be a fun story? He's from Pittsburgh. He grew up in Pittsburgh right down the road. He was a Steelers fan. He went to Pitt. Cool. So we got 2 years of nothing out of that, and I can't imagine what we're going to do here with Mike McCarthy. So I hope he proves me wrong. I hope Mike McCarthy took the year off and he's been putting together the gnarliest scheme you could ever imagine. And he's got a team of guys that he's about to bring in that are going to absolutely shake this whole team up. And he's going to say, fuck you, Aaron Rodgers. I know who my future quarterback is, and we're going to draft him, trade for him, or coach him up, whoever it happens to be. I just don't see it because that's not what Mike McCarthy is. That's not what he did in Dallas. That's not, he inherited a good team in Dallas and made little to no change to it. He came up short constantly with Aaron Rodgers in his prime. And a lot of those decisions are on him. A lot of those failures are on him. If we bring back, I'm going for a long time and I apologize. But if we bring back Aaron Rodgers for the sake of a good story, it would just make me go, like, everything the Steelers are doing is for the sake of warm and fuzzy feelings.
Right.
But we're not actually concerned with doing something smart. The Steelers had an opportunity to move their team into the 2020s to catch the Steelers back up because we've been behind the 8-ball for so long. And we've had outdated ideas and concepts and all this stuff. And we finally had the opportunity to move it into the 2020s, and we emphatically said no. We're not doing it. We're going to hire a 65-year-old guy. We're going to throw him in there at head coach, and we're not going to change. I just think it implies that they still think they're at a level to compete, and that's just really misguided. So it's an F. It is a
Wow.
big fat F as a hire. Not because I think that Mike McCarthy's a bad coach, but because he is the absolute worst possible coach they could have gotten for where we're at right now. It does not make sense. It's a terrible hire for where we are at. There are plenty of teams that would have been a good hire to get Mike McCarthy. This was not one of them.
Man,
I've made my peace.
that's a lot for an F. All that to get an F. All that to say, I'm gonna give him a C plus. I'm a little bit higher on these coaches, Johnny, than you. I'm gonna give him a C plus just because it is a different voice. We did expect more change up, more shake up, like you said. Bring him into the 2020s finally, even though they're gonna end soon. We'll be in the 2030s in 5 years, but by the time that he leaves, we'll be in the 2030s. Possibly, it could be one and done, which might be the best case for you, Johnny, for your hope in the future.
He's not gonna be. That's the issue. He won't be one and done.
He'd be the first coach they fire.
Yeah, he's not going to be one and done. That's the biggest issue.
All that, but it is. It's kind of same old. It could be the Pittsburgh Peelers. Bring all the Packers back. So
nothing more. Let's go get Randall Cobb. Come on, Aaron Rodgers, Randall Cobb. Let's see what Jordy Nelson's up to. Come on, guys.
Peel your eyes from the TV screen because you don't want to watch this after December. So no, I got to.
We're gonna win right now. If he runs it back with Aaron Rodgers, 8 wins. Calling it now.
Not high enough to get a good pick. Or at least a pick as high as you would like after all these years of being in the middle ground. But
if Mike McCarthy brings us to 2 wins, to 3 wins, I will be over the moon. I will be so
hire
happy.
that man, re-sign him,
keep him in here. We gotta suck for a while.
But yeah, no, the first thing he should do is come in and trade all their pieces away, and then he'll be like, "How's that for? I won't tear it down."
I will come on here, terrible towel in hand, and apologize. If he blows the team up and goes, "We're starting from scratch," and I have a concise vision and we're gonna follow it, I will beg RD2's forgiveness, Omar Khan's forgiveness, and Mike McCarthy's, even though I haven't really said anything that bad about Mike McCarthy.
No, that's just what you think might happen because they hired him, what that means. Because, no, it's just confusing because you would think they would tear it down, but the way that it's looking is they hired a coach who's probably in win-now mode.
Yeah, you hired a guy that doesn't have a long timeline as a coach. Like, if he can't be, McCarthy's got to be like the top 3 oldest coach in the league.
Yeah, probably.
Right? I mean, if the oldest is, I mean, Carroll's gone.
He's easily top 5.
Yeah, because he's older than. Yeah,
I mean,
he's older
Reed's
than
got him.
Harbaugh. Yeah, he's older than Harbaugh. Maybe. Yeah, Andy's older than him. And I'm trying to like run through the Rolodex. Like, I don't know how old Dan Quinn is. Maybe Dan Quinn is older.
No.
I don't know. Yeah, probably not. He's
No.
easily top 3. Maybe the second oldest coach in the league.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how old Jim is either.
But yeah, so
John's older than Jim, isn't he?
You'll have to apologize. Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, John's older than Jim, and then he's older than John.
Right.
But yeah, so no, yeah, like you said, you have to apologize.
I have
if they.
But I just think this just implies that they're trying to still compete now, and that's just you don't understand your team.
I'm gonna give it a C+. I'm gonna give it a C+ on my end. But Jonny, Tennessee Titans. The Titans are banking on a defensive resurgence, officially naming former Jets head coach Robert Saleh as their new leader. Saleh returns to the head coaching chair to stabilize a struggling franchise and build a culture of toughness in Nashville. Now, he was recently the 49ers defensive coordinator before taking the Titans job. He replaces Brian Callahan after a disappointing 4-19 tenure over 2 seasons, and he's already secured his primary offensive target to lead rookie quarterback Cam Ward's development, or rising sophomore quarterback Cam Ward's development, Brian Daboll at OC. But what do you grade this hire, Jonny?
With Brian Daboll, I'll call this a B+ to A-. This is a good hire. We know that Robert Saleh can coach up a defense. When he was there, the Jets defense was obscene. It was really good. For anyone that didn't remember, it was so good that people thought that post Brian Daboll, it would still, or Brian Daboll, post Robert Saleh, it would still be good, and it wasn't. It was a Brian Daboll job, or I keep saying Brian Daboll. It was a Robert Saleh job. You bring in a guy in Brian Daboll who we know has already coached up young quarterbacks, or at least coached up Haley's husband from a point where we thought he was a mega bust. He was terrible his first season and a half. And then Daboll got him to a point where now he's a Hall of Fame level quarterback. I mean, Daboll was there for the 13-second game. So that's how good he helped Haley Steinfeld's husband get.
He was credited for the resurgence, or for the transcendence of the career.
And we saw that Cam Ward started taking steps towards the end of the season. That's what you want to see. On a bad team, that's the best you can hope for. So now they have an opportunity to run it back in kind of a Mike Vrabel, Arthur Smith kind of way, but have it be Robert Saleh and Brian Daboll. It sounds like, and that's 2 guys that are about toughness, about that they're very expressive. They're both fighters,
both
guys
bald.
That can gain both bald. Yeah. Bald brotherhood. I just think it's a good hire, and we know these are guys that will command respect. And if the Titans can turn around their defense quickly, give Brian Daboll the time to develop Cam Ward, who's to say that in 2 years they're not competing for a wild card spot?
Right.
So I think it's a really good hire.
Yeah, before they hired Daboll, I was giving it closer to a C-. With Daboll, I'll give it a B. I still need to see him get some more pieces on that offense. Make sure a couple more pieces on defense, not as many on offense, but they got to make sure they keep what they have together on defense. But like you said, Daboll credited for Josh Allen's transcendence, and so I think he said, as opposed to getting a head coach job at a place I don't want to go to, I'll just rebuild my resume with Cam Ward. So I hope it works. But I'm much higher on that with Saleh and Daboll together. I'll give it a B. And it'll be interesting to see Liam Combs and the Saleh beef develop twice a year now.
Yeah, that'll be fun. We'll get to see that.
Keep my name out your mouth versus Duval.
Yeah, it'll be exciting. To see the
So
sophisticated sign stealing in action.
we'll see, but I'm giving it a B. Atlanta Falcons, Johnny. Kevin Stefanski stepped to the podium in Atlanta yesterday, promising a skillful sailor approach to the Falcons' future. The two-time coach of the year is wasting no time already evaluating a quarterback room that features veteran Kirk Cousins and a rehabbing Michael Penix Jr. Stefanski expressed high optimism for Michael, who is recovering from a torn ACL. His staff includes former Browns offensive coordinator Tommy Rees, who came over with him, and legendary Falcons quarterback Matt Ryan as president of football. Stefanski noted that smooth seas do not make skillful sailors regarding his recent struggles in Cleveland. But Johnny, what do you grade this hire?
Originally I think I liked him more than I do now. I think just the idea of he's a good offensive coach. And that's what Atlanta really needs, and they've been missing for a while. But I've thought about it more, and I thought, what's the biggest issue that Stefanski showed in Cleveland?
The ability to develop a quarterback.
Develop or evaluate a quarterback. He's not good at either of them. He seemed to only pick the wrong answer every time. When they had Baker versus Tyrod Taylor, he chose Tyrod Taylor until he was injured, and then it was Baker. And then when Baker has this breakout season and then plays injured the next year, he had the option between Baker or Deshaun Watson. And he chose Deshaun Watson. And then we fast forward a bit. He has a bunch of backups and all this fun stuff. Then he has a choice between Joe Flacco or let's even forget Shador. Joe Flacco or Dylan Gabriel. And he trades away Joe Flacco and goes with Dylan Gabriel, who might have been the worst quarterback in the league this year.
Yeah.
And then between Dylan Gabriel and Shador, picked Dylan Gabriel at every juncture until he got injured, and then Shador played too well for him to be able to say no. Because and at that point he knew it was over anyway. So it doesn't give me the best or the most hope for him being able to solve the one really big problem that Atlanta has right now. But I'll say he is still a good offensive coach. He's got experience. He's won Coach of the Year twice. He's succeeded in the playoffs. So he's obviously good overall. So I'll give it a B minus.
Oh my God.
Maybe a B.
Oh my God. I'm gonna give it an F. I'm gonna give it an F because Matt Ryan, that was your first big move as president of football. That was the first big move. Kevin Stefanski, like you said, all he's shown at every step of the turn is the ability to completely mess up what should be happening. And it's not like he didn't have talent on that offense either. Like he had some talent on that offense. So it was just stupid. And then Tommy Rees will be a good offensive coordinator, but that was clearly just let me bring my boy with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I gave you a job, put you on, let me bring you with me. So
yeah, more often than not, you're just bringing in a guy to help you develop weekly game plans.
Right. So that's really what it was. And so I got to just give it an F because, one, the people of Atlanta are vibing with this. He is not the people of Atlanta's coach, bro. Like, look at that man. Look at that man. Look at how he acts. Look at how he carries himself. I mean, he could embrace himself eventually, ingratiate himself in the community, but right now, Atlanta's not vibing with him right now. So I got to give it an F. Also, you fired Raheem Morris, who had a better record than him most seasons that he's coached, outside of those two that were great. So you could have just kept your coach that you had and just kept it going. So I don't know. It was questionable to me. I had to give it an F. Johnny, the Ravens. The Baltimore Ravens are keeping the Harbaugh connection alive, naming former Chargers defensive coordinator Jesse Minter as their fourth head coach in franchise history. Minter, who won a national title at Michigan, is set to bring an innovative defensive philosophy to a Ravens team hungry for a title. He replaces Harbaugh, John Harbaugh that is, who spent 18 years as the Ravens head coach. He was a key architect of the Michigan defense before following Jim Harbaugh to the NFL. And then he's viewed as one of the top up-and-coming tactical minds of the league. But what do you grade this hire, Johnny? Jesse Minter.
That's an A. That's a clean A. That's a solid hire. It's the type of guy that I would have wanted the Steelers to hire. It's a guy that everyone in the league. He was kind of this. It's either him or Clint Kubiak is kind of this cycle's Ben Johnson.
And
people were talking about him.
Clint right now. Clint can't really interview right now, except for when he's got
right. He really can't. He can go on Zoom at 9 p.m. after practice. But yeah, he's a guy that everyone respects as a smart guy that who's had success. His defense was really good this year. It was really keeping them alive as they lost so many pieces on offense. His defense, obviously Harbaugh is also a defensive coach, but in conjunction with Harbaugh, won them a national championship because it certainly wasn't their quarterback play.
Nope.
And so he's obviously knows what he's doing. He's a young guy, and now he can come in and fix what was a really rough defense this year. And whoever he hires alongside him can, work with Lamar. But I think this is exactly the type of guy that the Ravens would want to hire. Just a high shot up and comer who has big ideas on how to fix what their weakness was last year. So good job. I'm jealous to an extent. It would have been nice to have a guy like Jesse Minter on the Steelers.
Would have been nice.
No, I really wanted Clint Kubiak, but can't have everything we want.
Yeah, this got me thinking too with some of these coach hires. Like they act like there's like 35, 40 guys in the league in the world that can coach. Like there are so many. Like we'll get to it in a few of the other teams we talk about. But there are so many candidates still on the board that are potential up and comers. That for whatever reason, people are just recycling head coaches right now. But I got to give it an A-. Like you said, I love it. I mean, as far as up and coming, it was the opposite of what I thought. I thought we were going to get up and coming offense to pair with Lamar. But actually it might make more sense to go this way. Up and coming defensive mastermind to get the most out of that defense. Knowing Lamar is going to be Lamar regardless, that offense can do numbers regardless, bring in a good offensive coordinator. The issue is you're going to lose him probably. So you got to bring in a good quarterback coach that you think could develop into a coordinator when you lose a coordinator.
Yeah,
but
I mean, this is all on the assumption that Lamar, the step back he took this year was injury based and nothing more.
Yeah.
So, which would make me say I think Lamar is going to perform with any offensive coordinator.
And all of that would make me give it an A, but I got to give it an A- because the only thing is I thought we were stepping away from the Harbaugh thing. It just feels like, you know what I'm saying? We're kind of still the Harbaugh philosophy to some degree. You know what I mean? It's to be different.
Yeah.
But because young people like to do it their way. He might intentionally do things differently because he is young. Like he might be like, I want to make sure people know this is my team. But
maybe he's Harbaugh plus though. He's got the good
like
fundamentals that the Harbaugh tree gives you.
The Ravens and Chargers, it feels like they just keep swapping assistants and players and coaches, bro.
Well, it seems like I said, it could be Harbaugh plus, where you get the good stuff, the stability, and the fun, nice things you want from the Harbaugh tree, but then with a little extra sprinkle of magic on top of it.
Little spice on top.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so that's why I got to give it an A-, but still a solid hire. One of the better hires so far. But Johnny, the Giants. The New York Giants have landed the biggest fish of the coaching cycle, officially naming Super Bowl winner John Harbaugh as the 21st head coach in franchise history after a legendary 18-year run in Baltimore. Harbaugh brings his championship pedigree and a CEO-style leadership approach to a big blue organization desperate for stability and a return to the postseason. Now, Johnny, Harbaugh replaces Daboll, inherits a team that has struggled with inconsistency and a lack of identity over the last decade. He leaves as the winningest coach in Ravens history. and one of the few active coaches with over 150 career wins in a Super Bowl ring, and the hire is seen as a major win for Joe Schoen, or Joe Shane, however you pronounce that, signaling a shift toward a more disciplined, special teams focused, and old school football culture. But what would you grade this hire, Johnny?
I would give that a B plus.
Okay.
Look, the Giants have a lot of fun pieces, cool stuff on both sides of the ball, and a team like them, where they're at right now, you probably want just somebody who has been here and done it before. Now, on the flip side, it seems like Harbaugh's taking a lot of his boys from the Ravens and just bringing them along with him. So the question is, how similar will it look to the Ravens, and will it exhibit some of the problems with Harbaugh? The late game coaching errors and shooting themselves in the foot in the playoffs and fun things like that. But at face value, it's not. I think it's a good hiring because they tried the hot shot offensive mind guy to develop their quarterback with Dable, and it didn't work. So I can understand that they're just like, let's just get a guy who's proven, who's done it, who puts together a good culture, is respected, and can get this team on the right track. So I'll give it a B plus. It's a passing grade. It's not exciting, but maybe that's what they need right now. Not exciting.
Yeah, I got to give it, like you said, a difference in what they're trying to do as far as from what they did in the past with the hot shot. But I'll give it a B. I'll give it a B. I think that he's the coach that gets you to relevancy again, but he may not be the coach that gets you over the hump. Similar to Sean McDermott in Buffalo. He might not be the one that gets you over the hump, but he will get you the relevancy. I mean, this is a grown man hire, and we like those. This is a grown man hire. You just want to get a grown man, an adult in the room, someone who can make decisions that even if things go wrong, you don't have to question competency. Because in the past, if things go wrong, you can't just blame things going wrong. You can't look at what to fix. You got to think, is the person the problem? But if things go wrong now, it's not because of John Harbaugh. It's not because of that coach. It's going to be because of failures on the field, failures between the players, failures with the GM, whatever that may be. But John's going to answer to the CEO or president of operations or the owner himself and not the GM. So John may have more of a hand in the players than a lot of coaches out there, as he should with his track record. So give it a B. I'll give it a B. Johnny, not Green Bay. Oops, coming from Green Bay. Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins have pivoted to a defensive-minded leader, hiring former Packers defensive coordinator Jeff Hafley as their new head coach. Hafley's defense in Green Bay was a takeaway machine in 2025, and Miami is betting he can fix a unit that struggled in late season collapses. Hafley led a Packers unit that finished fourth in takeaways, 31st or 31 takeaways, and sixth in scoring defense in 2025. Previously the head coach of Boston College, and they also hired John Eric Sullivan as GM, coming over from the Packers, long time with the Packers since like 2003. And Bobby Slowick, former Texans OC, was a head coaching candidate a couple years ago, got fired for some reason last year as OC. Bobby Slowick to round out the staff. But what do you grade this hire, Johnny? Jeff Hafley, Miami Dolphins.
I wish I could speak more to this. I should have, if I knew we were doing this, I would have reached out. We have a friend that played at Boston College for Jeff Hafley. And it would have been nice to get his input on the type of coach he is.
If we reach out, we'll get a little update next week on what he thinks.
Yeah, maybe next week we'll have some info. We have a friend who played receiver for him. All of that to say, I think it's a fine hire. It's probably a C plus because he probably, if he does a good job, if he can translate a college coaching style to a grown man NFL coaching style and run a whole team, then he certainly has the capability to flip that defense into something decent. But it's just such a dumpster fire in Miami that you're really set up to fail right now with what they have going on. Bobby Slowick, good hire. We like him. Solid. It's just hard for me to look at Miami and feel optimistic about anything. That's why I'm only giving them a C+.
With the Bills, they might take a step back potentially this year. I mean, record in the regular season at least, which is fine for them because they want to get over the hump. But they're still going to be up there. Patriots. So yeah, Dolphins are tough to be confident in, like you said.
Yeah. So C+.
C+. Okay.
Fine hire. But the pending C+, because if I talk to my friend and he says Jeff Hafley's the worst, I hated that guy so deeply I didn't respect him. I would be like, all right, moving this down a bit.
I'll give him a B-. We like Bobby Slowick, but I also like the pairing. You're gonna have continuity with the GM and the head coach coming from Green Bay. That usually tends to work out most cases well, not always. You had the Texans where they got Nick Caserio, I think it was back in the day, or he might be there now, but they got a GM from the Patriots back in the day when they hired the Patriots offensive coordinator, and it didn't work out. So, but I like it though. I like it normally. So that's good. Head coaching experience. Like you said, it could increase if we hear some good deets from our boy on his experience with him as a head coach. So we'll see. And I don't think I'll have to worry about losing Slowick this year, even if they have a great year, just because he had a year off. He was a consultant for Miami last year. But that division's tough. His story was also good. I watched it. It's like 10 minutes long, but he slept in his office. All types of stuff, man, just to get a chance. So, yeah, give him a B-. Cleveland Browns, Johnny. The job that it seemed like nobody wanted. The Cleveland Browns are turning to a familiar face to lead their franchise, naming former Baltimore Ravens offensive coordinator Todd Monken as their 19th head coach. Monken is an offensive mastermind who helped guide Lamar Jackson to an MVP and won 2 national titles at Georgia. Returns to Cleveland, where he previously served as offensive coordinator, tasked with revitalizing a stagnant Browns offense. Replacing Stefanski, of course, spent the last 3 seasons with the Ravens, and then the key architect of back-to-back runs with Georgia, and he's known for his air raid roots, but has proven his ability to build a dominant rushing attack, as seen with Derrick Henry in Baltimore. But what do you grade this hire, Johnny?
I can't go any higher than a D+, because it's the Browns. It's just, Todd Monken, maybe he's good. I don't know. But it's the Browns, man. I can't feel confident. So I guess I don't have any reason to believe that he is exceptionally gifted as a head coach. Maybe he is. We don't know enough about him.
Yeah.
And it's the Browns. And it seemed like the Browns were, I feel like he wasn't their first choice, which makes me think, yeah, maybe they don't even feel as good about him as we do. So I'm going to go D+, because certainly their offense is what needs tending to.
Yeah. Let's see who brings in as D coordinator. I can't give this a grade. I got to go undetermined. I have to get back to this at a later date. I got to go undetermined because I'm very, very confused about this Cleveland job. I can't tell. So first of all, Todd Monken fell ass backwards into a head coaching job because he was just on a staff that got fired at his last stop, albeit their offense did play great the last 3 years. Got fired basically because that staff got fired. And then also had issues with the star quarterback at one point, which hopefully he might have learned from in the last month or two, but had issues with the star quarterback, Lamar Jackson. But it also seemed like he wasn't their top 5 choices. Like everybody turn this job down. Nobody wanted this job, and it was just what's going on in Cleveland. Is there something going on like the plague? Like everyone's avoiding him. But then you also see that it's like their D coordinator who wanted the job, Jim. I forget his last name. He used to be a head coach, but he wanted the job. He was visibly upset when he didn't get the job, and he said goodbye because obviously he's on the former staff, so he's probably not going to have that job unless he's retained by Monken, which might be a little awkward. So he just kind of fell ass backwards into this job. So I don't know if it's because he's a great hire or because they just couldn't get anyone else to take the job, and they didn't feel confident in the guy that was already there and wanted a new voice. So I gotta go undetermined at this point. Like, it's just, I really can't give it a grade. I have no idea what's going on in Cleveland. No idea. So we'll revisit that with my grade. I gotta go undetermined.
Coward.
I know. And I didn't say we could do that either. So sorry for your loss. Now, Johnny, we got two other ones where we don't have a head coach yet, but we'll go latest on the Cardinals and the Raiders coaching search. So for the Cardinals, Johnny, just some of the candidates that have taken second interviews are towards the top, middle to the bottom, or just candidates that have interviewed. But we have Mike LaFleur, Rams offensive coordinator. This is Cardinals, by the way. Anthony Weaver, Dolphins D coordinator. Anthony Campanile, Jags D coordinator. Vance Joseph, Broncos D coordinator. Raheem Morris, former Falcons head coach. Matt Burke, Texas D coordinator. Chris Shula, Rams D coordinator. Matt Nagy, Chiefs offensive coordinator, but technically not right now because they just hired a D coordinator, or offensive coordinator, I mean. Which we'll get to in a bit. Thomas Brown, Patriots pass game coordinator, and Clint Kubiak, Seahawks offensive coordinator. Who do you think they should hire, Johnny?
I think the Raiders should get old Clint. Got to get Clint in the Raiders. Come on. I believe in this guy. He's done great work, and he comes from the same. Which tree is he? Is he Shanahan or is he McVay?
Clint Kubiak, he's gonna be Shanahan.
Shanahan.
They all come from the Shanahan tree, though.
Yeah, they all come from the Shanahan tree, yeah. But now they get their own trees. We're far enough in. Yeah, regardless, Shanahan. He's a Shanahan tree guy. He's smart. He's done good work. He's the type of guy you want if you got to start with a new quarterback and you have a hot shot running back and you got to build up that offense. So I think that's the guy you go with, Clint Kubiak, if you're the Raiders. The Cardinals, Godspeed, man. I don't know what you do if you're the Cardinals. I mean, Chris Shula, you can at least go for the name. He's obviously done a good job. You get the legacy hire, which who knows, man. Mike Shanahan's son did a pretty good job. So maybe Don Shula's this is his grandson though, right? Chris is his grandson, right? Yeah. I don't think it's his son. Yeah,
his son's name is Mike.
Yeah, so maybe the descendant of Don Shula could have the same effect. Maybe go with that.
What do you have to lose?
So that's what I'll say. Kubiak for the Raiders, Chris Shula for the Cardinals.
Okay. Well, first of all, let me get to the candidates for the Raiders, but there's a lot of similar ones. I don't think your answer is going to change either way, though.
Oh, I thought you were asking both. I thought you were saying for both of them, like that. These are the guys that are left.
You're good. You can let me know if your answer changes, but I don't think it will.
It doesn't.
I have. For the Cardinals, I think they should go Clint Kubiak and try to get the most they can out of Kyler. If there's any coach out of these interviews they're taking that can save Kyler Murray's career, it's Clint Kubiak. And if there's any coach that can make, funny enough,
Kyler's out of there, man. He's done.
And if there's any coach,
they benched him.
If there's any coach that can make Bryce Young, if there's any coach that can make Brissett play like a top 15, top 10 fringe quarterback, it's Clint Kubiak.
But they benched Bryce Young. Getting benched is one thing because
Okay,
he was
but
a second year QB.
They got Brissett. But my caveat though, Brissett.
Kyler Murray is on his. I know what you're saying. I get the caveat. Like Kyler's on his second contract. Like he's paid like a franchise quarterback.
It changes everything though when you get a whole staff. When you get a new staff in there though, it changes everything. You got to at least reconsider because that was all part of Jonathan Gannon's staff and not the GM, but still part of the decision making process. So I would say they should hire Clint though. If they're either way, because he'll get the best out of who they have there, or if they draft somebody, he'll get the best out of them. But either way, the two quarterbacks in the roster, Clint will get the best out of. And then, but I think if they don't want to wait for the Super Bowl and they want to get antsy and hire someone, I'd go Raheem Morris just to stabilize. There's no reason he should have got fired. So I'd go Raheem Morris to stabilize, in which case then you have to get rid of Kyler. Get a good offensive coordinator, and you can run it with Brissett or draft somebody. The Raiders
try it again with Cliff Kingsbury.
Candidates that are with the Raiders right now. Again, towards the top, second interviews, bottom taking one interview. But you have Ejiro Evero, Panthers D coordinator, in on the Raiders job. Davis Webb, Broncos quarterbacks coach, in on the job / pass game coordinator. Clay Kubiak, 49ers offensive coordinator. Funny enough, both Kubiaks are in that conference or in that division. Mm-hmm. Mike LaFleur, again, I think I already said him. Yep. Rams offensive coordinator. Clint, of course. Vance Joseph, of course. Nagy, of course. Nate Scheelhaas, or however you pronounce that. Rams pass game coordinator. And then Chris Shula again. And Jonny, I don't think your answer changed for the Clint Kubiak for the Raiders, did it?
No, definitely still Clint Kubiak. Okay. The other option, it can always be fun to go with Mike LaFleur too, if you really want to go, another, or just go Clint and Clay. Go Clint on one, Clay on the other.
That'd be funny.
But I just don't know even what the direction is for the Cardinals, so it's so hard for me to pick who I think they should hire. It's a very difficult decision because I don't know what I would even do in their GM's shoes.
Right.
There's nothing to be excited about with that team.
No, I think you just got to ride with the offense. I think some receivers stepped up last year. Maybe you build off that into last year.
Yeah, and they got Walter Nolan. That's their D tackle, but he's injured. I think didn't he get injured hard?
I don't know.
He's their young. Yeah, so
I know they got that corner who didn't play that great, but
William
Jackson.
No, Will Johnson. But
anyway,
Willie Johnson.
But I think the Raiders, that's a tough job because whoever gets this job is going to be pretty much done in 2 years, 3 years. They're not. I don't know. I don't see a future for competing with the Raiders until Mahomes retires. If I'm being real, just because there's so many teams there.
You have Fernando Mendoza.
What I would do
Ashton Genty
is I would go. I mean, Clint, if he's still there, but if not, I would try to ride out with somebody on offense. Maybe Nate Scheelhaas from the Rams. Try to get or Scheelhaas, because for him, he's just building resume. He's not expected to win his first job. He's just building resume. Everybody else on this list, for the most part, a lot of them, like if they don't win their first job, they might not get another one for a long time. But a few of these candidates, it's their first job. They could risk being fired in the first 3-4 years and then get another job after building their resume back up in a couple years. So, yeah, I'd say Nate Scheelhaas for the Rams and the Raiders, but Clint if he's still available. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to go for that. Let me see here. Was there something else in the original I was going to say? Oh, and then Davis Webb. I want to put this out there. The Broncos fired their offensive coordinator, Joe Lombardi, which I think they did because they're going to promote Davis Webb to offensive coordinator so they don't lose him to the head coaching job potentially. But check this out, Jonny. It's time for Instant Replay, where we get behind the booth for when our viewers need coverage on the biggest stories in sports and, on occasion, the culture from a different angle. Jonny, Mike McDaniel named as LA Chargers offensive coordinator. Now with that, is Mike McDaniel and Justin Herbert, is that combination pairing the most dangerous offensive duo in the NFL?
I think it's less about Herbert. It's certainly more about their run game. If what we know about Mike McDaniel, he's a running game savant.
And
when you've got Hampton and you've got Najee coming back some point next year, in addition to, I mean, Vidal was pretty good this year too. And they might even draft a guy. Who knows what they're doing. But that run game, you get Slater and Alt back, you can start to really, really become demonic. So I think it's a great hire, to be honest with you.
No, it's an amazing hire.
That's as good of a hire as it gets.
I think Detroit missed out. They should have hired him, but it's a great hire. We'll see.
I kind of hate Detroit's hire. I don't know if we're going to talk about that.
No.
Yeah, because he sucked
for
2 years. Yeah. Their offense has been terrible for the past few years, and it was, they didn't know how to utilize their 4th overall pick at receiver. So what are we talking about? You want him doing your offense in Detroit? I can't even fathom that decision. So we'll see. Maybe it was just a change of venue will change everything. But McDaniel, great hire.
Great hire. Jonny, Shedeur Sanders named to Pro Bowl as a replacement, giving his rookie season some massive validation. He's got to replace Drake Maye playing in the Super Bowl. But Jonny, should Todd Monken be forced to commit to Shedeur as the Week 1 starter in 2026?
No, not forced.
Wow.
I love Shedeur. I believe in Shedeur. Forced, you can't be forced into doing anything. You got to keep your options open. This is the NFL. It's cutthroat. It's evil. So if an opportunity comes up that's too good to pass up, then you got to take it. All that to be said, it is very funny that they chose Shedeur for the Pro Bowl. That's it's very funny.
Bro, bringing them viewers. I might watch it now if I'm being real.
I won't, but it is very funny that they did that. The take I've seen that I kind of do agree with. We're just gonna do we're just doing games. We're just gonna play some games. Yeah, maybe talk about NBA, play some games.
Next week we got the quarterback villain/superhero names.
I think we just go nicknames for quarterbacks, but some of them might be, some of them might be superhero. Team
nicknames though.
We can do nicknames for both of them. We need nicknames.
The ultimate nickname. Okay.
We need to do the ultimate nickname episode.
And what we'll do is, and you can give your input for this as well. But we'll have a list of some options for all of them, and we'll have people vote.
Yeah. Well, I'll come equipped with a handful.
I will as well, and then we'll consolidate to like 3 to 5 options or so.
Yeah, we'll do it because, like I said, we're just in a nickname deficient world, and leave it to us to come up with some good ones.
To get you through the Pro Bowl.
So anyway, but it is funny. I do think that with how ridiculous the Pro Bowl substitution market has become, it does seem like a take I saw that I kind of agree with is that it has diminished the value of what the Pro Bowl used to mean, so that when people look back, people today will look back on Pro Bowlers when it was taken more seriously and think that it's not that big of an achievement, because today we have guys like Shedeur, who I love Shedeur, but he did not deserve to be a Pro Bowler, or Tyler Huntley, or Drake May last year, or Mac Jones, or there are so many, Joe Alt this year. There's so many random people
would have been in
that make the Pro Bowl. It's so goofy that it's very hard to take it seriously now.
If he was playing, but
it's fortunate. Like, even with how the NBA All-Star game is not taken seriously, being an All-Star still means something.
I'd rather watch that than the Pro Bowl.
I agree, and I do watch the All-Star game most of the time, but it still means something to be an All-Star in the NBA. It doesn't mean anything to be a Pro Bowler anymore. It really doesn't. Like, a majority of the NFL's quarterbacks have been Pro Bowlers at this point.
Yeah, and some of the ones that have been that are better haven't been Pro Bowlers technically.
Yeah, it's very weird. Like Joe Flacco has never been a Pro Bowler. I saw that. Joe Flacco, Shedeur Sanders made a Pro Bowl before Joe
Hey,
Flacco.
he's not trading that ring though. He's not trading that ring for nothing.
No.
Yeah, no, I think he shouldn't be forced, but I think he should be the day one starter going in, and you bring someone in to see if he can compete.
Yeah,
but you got to.
I think
you can't do what Stefanski did though.
No, that was goofy.
Johnny, Eric Bieniemy returns to the Chiefs as offensive coordinator. The old guard is back. Andy Reid's Mahomes and Bieniemy, the trio reunited. Bieniemy's been on a little sabbatical. He went to the Commanders, then UCLA, back to the Bears. He was the one in charge of that run game as running backs coach this year for the Bears. Chiefs looking to bounce back from 6-11 season, Johnny. Is this the final piece needed for Patrick Mahomes to return to MVP form in 2026?
It's not the final piece because they still need to address the run game, but it is a great piece.
He'll help the run game.
It's a great piece. I think Bieniemy was the thing that went away when Patrick Mahomes started to play a more conservative style of football. But when Bieniemy was there, things were going pretty crazy. That was the most electric team in the league. So lots changed. People grow. People adjust. So who knows what we're going to get out of it? But I'm optimistic. I like it. Beware.
Yeah. No, I like it. I mean, I dislike it, of course, as a Broncos fan. But for the Chiefs, it's good. It's good to see the boy back. And he better not leave again unless it's for a head coaching job. Don't leave again because he thought he had it with the Commanders, and he was a year too soon, 2 years too soon. They didn't have Jaden yet because then it might have been a little different. Johnny, one more on this. We'll have two people want to know, then we'll get you out of here. I got Sumo soon, I imagine. But Johnny,
Sumo is over, but we don't want to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Sumo is over, but we're not trying to stay up all night.
Bill Belichick, Johnny, we got to talk about it. The Hall of Fame snub controversy. The greatest coach in NFL history will have to wait. Bill Belichick has reportedly fallen short of the Hall of Fame induction in his first ballot, a decision that has stunned the sports world and led to conspiracy theories about why the 6-time Super Bowl winner was left out. A lot of people, Johnny, my whole timeline, and we won't get into this because we're short on time, but my whole timeline today, Johnny, has been Bill Belichick snub and Giannis Antetokounmpo trade. My whole timeline today.
Interesting stuff today.
But the Hall of Fame snub, Johnny, is there a Bill Belichick or is there a Belichick bias among the voters, or is this just a procedural anomaly?
All right. When it first happened, I texted you immediately, and I said, I think the word I used was disgraceful. That I said, this is disgraceful to, or something like that. It's a disgrace to the Hall of Fame. And I did feel that way, gut reaction. And then I sat and I ruminated upon it for a bit. And it's a complicated feeling I have about this. Because if the people who abstained or who didn't vote him did it on the actual grounds that it is, you do not get to have the distinguishment of being a first ballot Hall of Famer because you got caught cheating. You committed a cardinal sin in the NFL. You will be in the Hall of Fame eventually, but you do not get the distinguishment of being a first ballot Hall of Famer because you are a cheater. And we all know you're a cheater. I would understand that. Do I really care? I think if I were a voter, I would have voted yes, Bill Belichick, obviously, because I don't think that the cheating defines him. I think it's a small part, and that he did get punished for it. It did get litigated.
All types of stuff, bro, that are in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, if If Karl Malone's in the Hall of Fame, then whatever. I mean, I'm a proponent. I think Barry Bonds should be in the Hall of Fame. If you know what I mean, I think it's like, I don't think the steroid use defines how good Barry Bonds was, especially in an era where it was defined by steroid use. So all that to say, I do get it. The problem I have now is, if that was the case, if a group of guys in the Hall of Fame voters decided we're not going to let you in first ballot because of your cheating, then grow a dick and say that. Then grow a dick, come forward and say that, because that's a very understandable position to hold. You know what I mean? Like, you can be all mad about it all you want, but that is an undeniable fact that Bill Belichick got caught cheating, and if the Hall of Fame decides you do not get to be rewarded, then fine by that. But admit it, say that. Instead, we got Bill Polian and a bunch of other dudes, we don't know how many officially, that are hiding and pretending that they had nothing to do with it. And that's completely craven, cowardly. What are you doing? You're a grown man. Admit it. Man. Admit it. You made a stand, and that's fine. You made a stand that I personally understand and I don't think was the wrong thing to do.
He's unk to the unks, bro.
Yeah. I can't even fathom why you would do both, which is say you can't be in here, make a statement about it, like making a statement, you are not a first ballot Hall of Famer, and then not saying a word about it, not standing on it, not standing on business about it. What are you doing? And the only other thing, and I'll throw this in, just a little fun thing, is the Nick Wright proposed another option of what happened, which was there were just enough guys that went, all right, well, I really want this guy to get in, and I only have 3 people I can pick. So Bill's obviously going to get in. I don't have to vote for him. Like, the other guys will do that. So I can put down the 3 guys I want, and Bill will get in anyway. And just enough people did that. But that's a really low chance. And what I think it really likely was, like, we have to be real here. It's Occam's razor. The most likely thing is almost always what it is. The most likely explanation is often the explanation.
Right.
And I think the most likely explanation is that it was payback for him cheating. That there's enough people there that when you don't get to be a first ballot Hall of Famer because you're a cheater. And I just wish that they weren't cowards about it. I wish that they just said that.
Right. Just be honest.
And the big question now too is, are they going to do that for Brady as well? Or Robert Kraft as well? So, and
they also, the NFL did make a statement saying that they about potential investigations.
I didn't see this.
And they'll remove if they find out that voters aren't voting properly, they'll remove them from voting.
Yeah, look, like I said, it's just, I think it's a perfectly valid decision to say that it's because of the cheating and that's why he's not in. But you have to say it. You can't just leave everybody confused, because it makes you look like an asshole. It makes the Hall of Fame look like a joke.
Right.
That they won't just say.
Some people say it could make the people not take the Hall of Fame seriously anymore.
It could if they don't, because it just seems like a weird politics thing and nobody's going to say what happened. And not one person has admitted to it yet. And Bill Polian definitely did not vote yes, except for Bill Polian, who said, I think I voted for him, but I can't remember.
He said he forgot, and then he said he did, yeah.
And like, you're a liar. You can't remember? You're a liar.
And the thing is this, too. This opens it up, because we've had a lot of fringe, should they make it, people that for politics didn't. But this is an obvious he should. And so this could really open up the politics side of things. Like, hey, there were some people in the past that were fringe, but because they're not as clear making it as Bill, the politics had a bigger impact, and we didn't talk about it.
It's like Greg Popovich not making it. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, it's that level of disrespect. Where it's like, what are we talking about?
Nah, I don't. So, I think there is a Bill Belichick bias. I think they're hating because that young man's getting some cat. That's why
they're hating. Jordan Hudson.
They're hating because they're hating because my man Bill said, "I want to give me some young cat." That's why they're hating on him. That's why they're hating on him. Listen, we know what it is. All them voters are looking in the mirror and they go, "I couldn't pull that. I couldn't pull that girl."
Yeah, Jordan Hudson. Okay, I didn't remember her name. I remember.
No way. Yeah, it's Jordan. Come on, baby.
Jordan Hudson. I knew her name was Jordan. I couldn't remember her last name.
The Jerry, Bill, and Hudson show. Oh no. Something like that. We got to get it going with Dallas. But anyway, so yeah, they're hating on him, man. They're like, I can't pull that girl, so that's fucked up. We ain't voting him in. Mm-hmm. It's not even about cheating, bro. They hating on it. They hating on an old man that can still pull. That's what they're hating on. That's what they're hating
crazy. On. That's crazy. It's just, yeah. You have to do one or the other. You can't do both. If you're going to keep him out, you have to say why.
Yeah. And they're not going to do it for Brady, like you said. But, Johnny, we're going to wrap up with these. In a world full of questions, the people need answers. Here on Couch Coach, we have those answers. It's time for the people want to know. Johnny, the people want to know. You're settled in. The person next to you slips off their sneakers. Then the socks come off. Are you calling the flight attendant? Is plain feet the ultimate sin, or are you allowed to get comfortable on a long haul?
Okay, you just said you're settled in, and I didn't know where. Then you said on a plane, and I was like, oh, okay. So here's the thing, right? I think bare feet on the plane is the only way you can do bare feet on a plane is if you were wearing like sandals. It's the only way you're allowed. Because if you cannot take your socks off in public. Not allowed. Ever. You cannot take your socks off.
As a man or as a person?
As a person. You can't take your socks off in public. If you decided to go out wearing socks, they are on until you're home. That's the rule. We have to abide by it. So all that to say, if you take your shoes off on the plane, the only way it's a cardinal sin is if your feet stink. And that's a you problem. Wash your feet. Like you better have the mental wherewithal to know. You better have put on clean socks recently and know that you wash your feet real good. And then if you want to take your shoes off on the plane, I'm not going to be mad. But if you take your socks off, crazy to take your socks off.
Nah, that's diabolical. It's diabolical.
By the way, I don't take my shoes off on the plane. I keep my shoes on, but I'm very comfortable in my shoes. My shoes don't bother me. I could fall asleep in my shoes easily. So
we should all aspire to be like John, being comfortable in our own shoes.
Yeah, instead of taking your shoes off, just get comfortable shoes. If you have to take your shoes off, you have ill-fitting footwear. Address that problem.
Wear some more comfortable socks.
Yeah. So I would say inside. I wouldn't really think much of it if you just took your shoes off and nothing smelled. If you took your socks off, I would think less of you as a human being.
And they're in the middle and you're on the outside.
Yeah, and I'm always outside. Yeah, I'm an outside guy. Obviously, I'm too tall to sit anywhere else. Really, I'm going for the emergency evacuation seat. That's the seat I want.
Got to get that savior complex.
Yeah, well, not even that. It's the extra leg room. It's not a big savior complex. They're like, can you open a door that's 75 pounds? Like, yes, I can open a door that's 75 pounds.
I hope so. For your sake.
Yeah.
No, please don't make me move. I want to see.
Please don't make me move. Oh God,
no.
That's my goal. I like the evacuation route.
No, I'm not calling the flight attendant. I'm reaching up into the fucking overhead cabinet, taking out my overhead luggage. I'm popping out a fresh pair of socks and a pair of shoes, and I'm handing them to the homie. I'm gonna say, put these shits on now. Put them on now, bro. Mm-hmm. I'm not calling the flight attendant, bro. Next thing you know, we end up like anger management. We're like, please lower your voice. Stop yelling. Yeah. I'm like, I'm not yelling. And then I end up in, I'm like Adam Sandler shit. No, I'm not calling the flight attendant because I don't want to pop off on the plane. Like, I've seen too many plane flights go down or fights. I don't want to disrupt the plane, but I'm be like, homie, please put some shit on. If they don't have them, I'm giving it to them. If they have them, they're putting it on. But no, that's diabolical. You're not a fit. I don't want to see your feet. I don't want to smell your feet. I don't want to know you have feet. Put your socks on. Put your shoes on. If you have sandals, you got to prepare better, man. Prepare better.
I think having your feet out on an airplane is like a level of breach in social etiquette.
Disrespectful.
It's akin to like answering the phone in a movie theater. It's such a crazy level of breaking social etiquette that it has to be addressed. It is like, you know what I mean? It has to be addressed in the moment. If somebody like took a phone call in a movie theater, you would have to say, leave. What are you doing?
I was in a photo. I was taking photos on Snapchat in a theater, and the flash was on in the back, and I was doing it all through the previews in the beginning of the movie. And I did it one time, and this lady, she yells at me and goes, "Turn off your phone!" And I swear to God, bro, I took out my shit and I went like this, and flicked that photo as I looked her dead in the eye. And now looking in hindsight, that was disrespectful as fuck.
It was disrespectful as hell. That's still disrespectful. It's not on the same level as taking a phone call, but it's up there.
I was in the back row theater, though. I was like literally back row theater, too, though.
Yeah.
She was next to me.
The flash is still a problem, but like, I think checking your phone in a movie theater, if you keep the brightness down, I think you're kind of like, it's fine. Doesn't really matter that much. But yeah, taking a phone call, that's what I mean. It's like this egregious level of disrespect. It has to be addressed when it happens. It's like being mean to a waiter. Same deal. It's like it's too ridiculous. When you're with
somebody who's being mean to a waiter, you're just like, oh boy, this is awkward.
Or like openly littering. You know, there are just certain things where it's like you're
breaking social etiquette
too much and throwing it out the window.
Oh, terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
I had a friend do it, and it threw me so crazy.
60-second answers on these ones, Johnny. Rapid fire. People want to know, should you have to disclose your body count to a serious partner if they ask?
No.
If they ask?
If they ask, you have to have a serious conversation if they ask, where it's just like, do you even want to know that answer? Is that answer going to make you feel good? Is there any world where you like the answer to that question? Or can we just both be adults? Like if somebody was insistent upon knowing my body count, a prospective woman was insistent upon it, it would make me just kind of go, it would make me reevaluate things. It would point to a lack of maturity to me personally. And like I said, and it would just be a thing where I'm like, nothing good comes out of this no one likes this conversation. Right. Why even do it? So I would say no.
I mean, I don't want to know, but at the same time, so like if they ask you, I think you should, in transparency, you should disclose if they ask. If it's something they really want to know, all right, I'll give it to you. I won't ask. I don't want to know. But I also don't think anyone should have to ask, because I've said this before and I'll say it again. Every problem, 99% of problems, because you caught me on this one last time, 99% of problems in the world would be solved if we had our body count on our forehead. If we had our body count on our forehead, 99% of the world's problems would be solved. You would know who to talk to. You would know why they act the way they do. Boss being mad at work. Oh, he's got a body count of 2. He gets no pussy. That's why he's a dick. Right? You know what I'm saying? You got on a break with your girl, and it's a body count of 5, and you went on a break for 2 weeks, and she was like, yeah, we just need to, take some time apart, and you come back, and that shit's at fucking 16, and you go, what? Nah, we're good. We're good. We're good. You see what I'm saying? You look at a bitch who's got, when I dated a bitch 3 years ago, I would have saw a fucking 72 on her fucking forehead, and I would have been like, deuces. So nah, most of the problems would be solved in the world if you had your body count on your forehead. On their forehead. Bad credit score? Oh, he doesn't get no pussy. Makes sense. So, yeah, all the problems are solved, 99%. Last one, Johnny. If you win the lottery, people want to know, if you win the lottery, are you obligated to tell your partner immediately?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, at least once you get the money. But yeah, I think probably if they can hold it down. Because if you didn't, it's over. If you don't tell her, it's over. Like, that's just you being like,
out, you pull up in a new
car.
No,
yeah, it's right. It's you. if you decide not to tell her, it's you saying, all right, I'm in a different place in life now. This relationship is over. Otherwise, you have to tell her. Obviously, you have to tell her. Immediately, I'm like, I think yes. I think the answer is actually yes. The only question is, you ever seen Lottery Ticket with Bow Wow?
No.
You ever seen that movie?
No.
It's a movie where Bow Wow wins the lottery and he only tells one person, his mom, and he goes, you cannot tell anyone because I can't cash it for 3 days. And his mom's like, okay. And then she tells the entire neighborhood. And then he is then roped into a series of hijinks and unfortunate events due to the fact that everyone knows he has the winning lottery ticket. And he has to deal with that for 3 days until he can cash it.
Crazy. No, you should not be obligated to. No. If you keep that money to yourself if you want to. I mean, like, she gonna know. There will be signs.
It's very funny. It's like like I'm like, you're not obligated to tell your partner your body count. You're like, you're not obligated to tell your partner if you win the lottery. It's such a bizarre thing. A weird difference between us is what we think transparency means in a relationship.
No, don't ask, don't tell. No, listen. No, you shouldn't be obligated to. I mean, again, you kind of are choosing the relationship if she finds out on her own. So how long you wait is in your peril potential. But no, you shouldn't be obligated. There will be signs. You will be blessed. You will be blessed. Don't worry about what I got. It makes me think of that meme where they're in the living room and the wife's going, "We won! And you're like, "What do you mean we won?" Nah, I won. Like, nah, man, we didn't win. I win. I'm gonna bless you with them winnings. You don't sit up at 12 a.m. on a Friday and go, we got paid. No, you know it's coming and it's gonna be there and you're gonna see it when you get blessed.
If it's your wife, though, literally, actually, legally, we did get paid. And we did
legally we did get
paid. Legally,
paid.
yes.
But unless we're getting divorced and you're claiming it legally, you don't need to know about it.
No, like, but that's what I'm saying. But like in a marriage is a financial arrangement where you intertwine finances.
My prenup is going to intertwine everything except for lottery winnings.
Everything except for lottery winnings is funny. You could probably get away with that. There are
probably because you'd be like, oh, he's never going to win the lottery.
He's not going to win it. Yeah, fine. Like we intertwine everything except potential lottery winnings. That's very funny.
I'm about to go ham. Little do you know, I spent all our money on
lottery and gambling winnings.
All our money on lottery tickets before we divorced.
That's not bad.
Like, you don't have any money in the bank? Nah, bro. But I got 3 million lottery tickets.
I got 3 million lottery tickets. I'm gonna be checking them all day.
God. Anyway, we're going to wrap up. So thank you for joining us for another episode of Couch Coach, your favorite podcast featuring an all-star staff of the best to never do it. And with that, I want to put out there, by the way, before they start calling Josh Allen that more and more like they have been, and they start making merch with this, we were the best to never do it before Josh Allen was. Just want to say that. Mm-hmm. Just want to say that. But without a couch, you're just a coach. Without a coach, it's just a couch. With both, you're one of us. Hit that like button. Hit a subscribe button. And if you got some shit to say, leave a comment. While you're at it, hit the notification button and make sure you stay ready for when we hit the airwaves weekly. For more, make sure to follow us on whatever platform you consume your content, whether on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, or X. Search Couch Coach Pod in your search bar. Look for the green coach sitting on a green couch. Can't miss it. Now, if that was too much for you to remember, make sure to hit up that description for all the links to all our socials and our Couch Coach headquarters. It's Jonny. It's Coogii. Thank you for watching Couch Coach. We'll see you guys next week.
Pro Bowl!
Oh, Cancun on 3. 1, 2, 3. Cancun!
Pro Bowl.
Pro Bowl.
Pro Bowl.